How is it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with my Friday questions and answers, episode 27. And in this video, as always, I'll be answering your questions from last week. And before I get started, leave your questions in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer it next Friday. And last video went on for about 30 minutes, and I'm trying to make this very, very quick. So I'm honestly not really in the mood to make a video, but let's try to get started and quick. Leo Smith starts it off asking, what is the funniest thing that has ever happened to you? I don't know if anything is really funny off the top of my head that's happened to me, but the craziest thing that's ever happened to me is probably sitting by Houston Street's fiance at the time on a plane, going to see the Red Sox play. I thought that was kind of cool. If you didn't know, Houston Street's a really good closer in baseball. I think he actually is the closer for the Padres now. He was a closer for the A's at the time. Also, he asked, is your girlfriend an Alabama fan? Yes. How many, star11079 asked, how many seasons does Tom Brady have left, and will he go down as one of the best quarterbacks of all time? I think even if he retired today, he'd go down as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And so definitely the answer is yes to that question. I'm not sure if the best, but one of the best, probably top 5, definitely top 10, maybe even top 5. And how many years does he have left? I would say good 3-4 years left in them, maybe a few more, but go either 3 or 4. Eli Cesura asked, do you think that Denver is favored to win the AFC next season? How many more years do you think Peyton Manning has remaining in the NFL? Denver definitely will be up there with one of the favorites for the AFC. They definitely have the easiest schedule next year in the NFL, one of the easiest schedules in the NFL next year, so they should make it to the playoffs. I'm not sure if they're going to be favored to actually win the AFC, but they'll definitely be a contender and favorites for a lot of people going into the next season. And for the favorites, I mean, I'd go with either the Broncos or the Patriots as of right now, but we'll see where that goes. And how many years do you think Peyton Manning has left? 2 maybe, 2 or 3. B-Rich93 asks, thank you for the Jadeveon Clowney thing. That was my question. So I guess, would you rather be a rhino-sized hamster or a hamster-sized rhino? You gotta be bigger, so definitely the rhino-sized hamster. That'd be kind of weird, but I have to choose. I choose to be the rhino-sized hamster. The Hen 1998 asks, what are your thoughts on Tony Romo? Does he deserve to start? Is he an elite quarterback? Tony Romo, he is actually very talented, a really good quarterback. He just doesn't know how to win in the playoffs. He doesn't know how necessarily to make it to the playoffs. He's good most of the times, but when he's bad, and he I guess you could call him a guy that chokes in pressure when the pressure's high on stages. When he's on the national stage, I mean, he's very talented. He puts up the stats. Yes, I believe he deserves to start. Is he an elite quarterback? Not until he goes deep into the playoffs. He's been the quarterback for a long time for the Cowboys. I don't even know if he has a playoff win. I know he has a playoff appearance, maybe one. I'm not even sure if he's won a game in the playoffs yet. So until he goes deep into the playoffs, a couple times I wouldn't consider him elite, but I do think he's a good quarterback most of the time, and he does deserve to start for the Cowboys. Mikey Terps asked, do you think Manti Te'o will be a good NFL linebacker? Yeah, I believe he'll be pretty good. I'm not sure if he will be an absolute standout, but I believe he'll be good and start for NFL teams in his career. MGS fan 1234, MGS1 fan 1234 asks, with your knowledge about the teams in the Pac12 and them having new coaches, who do you think will go to the Pac12 Championship next season? Sorry, my phone just rang. Let me hear who it is. Okay, it doesn't matter. Who do I think will go to the Pac12 Championship next season? Let's go with Oregon and UCLA. Moving on. Plan that fails. Do you think there's a chance Flacco could go to the Browns or a team other than the Ravens? What do you think are the chances of the Orioles making the playoffs this coming season, and why do you think Flacco does not get the respect he deserves? No, to answer your first question, I do not believe Joe Flacco will go to any other team. I think he's going to stick with the Ravens with a long-term deal. What do you think the chances of the Orioles making the playoffs? The AL East is the toughest division in baseball, no matter what. And I've read an article earlier saying that the divisions have kind of spread out, and the AL East is not the powerhouse that it used to be, not the toughest conference in baseball or division in baseball. No, the AL East has got 3 times better since the end of last season, with the additions the Blue Jays made. The Red Sox will be competitive again. The Rays, Orioles are going to be competitive again. The Yankees are the Yankees. So it's definitely going to be the toughest division in baseball. So the chances are I'd say equally distributed throughout the AL East teams. So I've said before in my prediction videos that the AL East, the first and last place in the AL East, could be decided by 5 games, 5, 6, 7 games. So the chances for the Orioles, I believe they fall to 4th place in the AL East, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have a bad record. They could be over 500 and still come in 4th place. So they could surprise me. I mean, them making the playoffs wouldn't even surprise me. But just the fact the AL East is so hard, I think they didn't make enough moves in the offseason to actually counteract the moves made by the other team. So I think they'll just take a step back, but they'll still be a competitive team. And I think you have one more question. Why do you think Joe Flacco does not get the respect that he deserves? I really don't know. I think the best way to put it is that people in today's age like to hate on people more than actually give credit where it's due. And that's really came about with the new implications and new generation of the internet. People aren't afraid to put their opinions out there, which they believe. I'm not sure if they actually believe, they just want to be loudmouth on the internet, and they actually wouldn't say it in real life because they know it's stupid. I think most people actually believe he's an elite quarterback now. And the reason that they have the Peyton Manning, the Tom Brady, the Brett Favre, they believe he was an elite quarterback because they're elite before this new emergence of the internet. And this is completely an honest assessment. And I believe now, no matter what happens, even if a quarterback could win, well, I'm not sure about that, but if a quarterback like Joe Flacco comes about and they play even better than Joe Flacco, there will definitely be a lot of people out there saying that they won't give them the credit they deserve, and I don't know why. People want to bash Joe Flacco. The man always plays great. And I think one of the biggest bashes against him is that he's so quiet and seems so calm all the time. He has a strong arm. He just won a Super Bowl and played great. He had comeback victories in the playoffs, specifically against the Broncos. So, I mean, I believe he's an elite quarterback. I'm not sure he's not. He's top 5, I believe, in the NFL right now, but I definitely put him up there as elite quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So I don't necessarily know the answer to your question, but just gave it my best shot. Actually, I think you left that question twice ago. New York Knicks Fly High asked, what do you think the Giants need to make another run at the Super Bowl again? And key free agents you think they might pick up this offseason? Let me think about this for a second. Giants, they're losing Ahmad Bradshaw. That's pretty much a given. I think they need to add another wide receiver. I think they might need to add somebody in that front 7. Definitely have another addition to their secondary. They need improvement in a bunch of areas, but the Giants, as long as they have Eli Manning and that coaching staff, they're going to be competitive. But if they can make a few additions to areas of need, they can be competitive. I think they'll have a chance to make the playoffs just about every season, as long as that combination of Tom Coughlin, his coaching staff, and Eli Manning are there. But I do think, since they're losing Ahmad Bradshaw, the bigger back, they need to pick up somebody in the free agency, a bigger type of running back. I know the Falcons running back is just got, I think they announced he would be released at the end of the season, or in the season, in the upcoming weeks or days. And Michael Turner, man, he's a good running back, so I could see them signing a guy like him. Even though they have some pretty good running backs behind Ahmad Bradshaw, and they played very well last season. But I do think they could possibly add another big back, a few wide receiver threats, and a guy in the front 7, and even a guy in the secondary. So, and free agent additions, I really couldn't tell you. But I said it'd be. I could see them adding a guy like Michael Turner, definitely. Mecha UGA Dogs ask, how did you feel in the first quarter of the Alabama versus Texas A&M game when Johnny Manziel completely walked over Alabama? No offense, but even I was in awe of his skill. I was shocked, but I knew Texas A&M was going to be a tough game. I knew coming off the LSU game, people didn't really take A&M as seriously as they should have because they're a very talented team. I didn't actually know Johnny Manziel was that good until that game. He absolutely just shocked me how great he was. But I did know when it was 21-0. It did seem like an impossible score to overcome with the way they're playing. But I knew that we're going to be competitive for the rest of the game. We were going to find a fix and do something right. I knew we were off to a bad start whenever A.J. McCarron threw his first pick of the season, and with Johnny Manziel playing the way he was, I knew it was going to be really hard to overcome it. But I knew we were going to be competitive. I was worried going into the game that his scrambling ability was going to be an issue for us, and it definitely was. And it seems like for some reason that quarterbacks that can scramble always find a way to execute well against us. So I was kind of expecting a really tough game from A&M, but I wasn't expecting a 21-0 game in the first quarter, definitely. Smoky Dog asked the same question, and Razorback fan 1995 with the last question asked, who do you think will win the World Series, and do you think the Phillies will be back in the postseason? The Phillies, I think, will be more competitive than they were last year, but I don't really see them making the postseason. The AL East is way too competitive. I think they're the second best division behind the AL East. I think the Nationals and Braves are shooing for the postseason. So the Phillies are still a step behind them. They still have some additions that need to be made to be even more competitive. I think they finished third, and I think it's close, but don't think they make the postseason. I think the Braves actually get the wild card spot, and the Nationals win the division. And speaking of the Nationals, to answer your first question, I made my predictions, man. And they're going to be uploaded. And I believe I said the Nationals over the Tigers. I think I said in six games. So I'm going with the Nationals over the Tigers. So there you go. So thank you guys for watching. Here's my weekly guess on how long this video has taken. I'm going to go 15 minutes and 30 seconds. 12 minutes, man. I'm going to start doing that from now on. Every weekend I finish the last question, I'm going to guess how long the video is taken up to this point. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you haven't asked a question to be answered in next week's episode, please do in the comment section below. I appreciate all the questions, and I'm more than glad to answer them next week. So have a great day, guys. And as always, roll tide, go Sox, and go Titans to you. I'll see you later.